going on? What's going on? What's going on, everybody? Let's go ahead and make some magic happen. Okay. What's going on? What's going on, everyone? It's your boy ABK, and thank you for checking out another one of my intraday/day trade setups. I do appreciate it. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and get straight to it, right? Before I continue, let me make sure I'm recording. Let me get on my phone, because I would hate it if I'm not recording. Alright. So, DXY. Let's go on DXY first. So, DXY, what I had wanted yesterday was for price to push to the downside to make the retracement up here to this zone and then drop down. Price ended up just keep falling down, and so I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of this right here, because, and this is something similar to what Payne was saying yesterday, and this is just like off of my, like, following my analysis as well, right? It's like, so, well, this hasn't happened yet, so I'm not even gonna have that written down there, right? So at this point, it's kind of like one of two things, right? Intraday wise, we can see that this where price is consolidating here, and then it broke out to the upside and is rejecting off of this zone and off of the, let me go into the daily time frame real quick, off of this rising wedge that it looks like, right? There's one or two things that could happen for me personally. One, price will just keep falling down to come to this fifth zone down at this low, which I kind of am skeptical about, but you know, that's a possibility, right? The reason why I'm kind of skeptical about it is this is making higher highs and higher lows, and for it to come down here just to the bottom of this rising wedge, it would make me think that, okay, well, if it's making higher highs and higher lows, but it's on the rising wedge, I end up wanting to see it break to the downside, which I'm not so certain is going to happen here. What I feel like might happen here is something like this, something what Payne mentioned yesterday, right? Is that price will just probably come down to these lows from this bullish move. Price will probably come down back to these lows to test them out before trying to break out and make higher highs. That's what I kind of want to see at this point, more than price coming down all the way to these lows down here. If price comes down to these lows, it'll be very suspect to me, you know? And if you watch closely, this retracement to push up and back to the push up to the upside, it's kind of retesting. It's kind of retesting that broken structure. I mean, it already has this structure that it broke right here, but I would still want to see it come down to these lows before actually thinking of trying to buy it, right? Like, again, like, I'm just going over with the structure. I'm not trying to catch no tops or bottoms at this point, like, and it's making higher highs and higher lows. So I would want to see price come into this range before I try to buy it, anything, right? So gonna wait and see what the DXY does on that end. Daily time frame, I want to see what the candlestick looked like, how it closed. So 3 bearish candles. That is definitely something to watch out for, though. It's not engulfing by any means. It didn't engulf this candle, but still there are 3 bearish candles, so that's something to watch out for. And price can definitely just bounce off of this previous resistance that's now used as support. It could just keep going to the upside from here, but again, I'd rather prefer if price dropped down to these lows before I decided on taking this to the upside. So I'm going to be watching that on the DXY. Let me actually just change this real quick. And I'm going to actually set an alert here. Okay. Let me turn this volume down because it's too loud in my ears. Okay, great. So we'll see what happens over here, 93.430 on the DXY, because again, that's where I would be like, okay, if price is gonna keep going bullish, then I'd want to buy it down there, rather than, again, price coming all the way down to these lows and me trying to buy here. But again, that's a possibility, but that's not what I'm watching for. So we'll see what goes down. Arbitrage. Push this down here. So going over to the daily time frame. Daily time frame still very much bullish, just showing some rejections at this third deviation. 4-hour time frame, setting up for a potential sell. So this is definitely an arbitrage sell opportunity here. But the only thing about trying to sell this, and again, it kind of happened right here as well, where you got the breakout, the retest, and it did play out very, it did like, that's like the type of setup that I would look for. But even over here, nothing was confirmed when the sell was called. So it's kind of like over here, same thing, nothing's confirmed for this sell. Although yes, it's showing me these purple candlesticks, the structure is prices making higher highs and higher lows. So that's one thing that I'm really watching out for. It's like, okay, these are making higher highs and higher lows. And then even a buy which is called on the 1-hour time frame. So instead of me following the 4-hour time frame, I kind of want to go to the 1-hour time frame and like flow with that. But again, price is making higher highs and higher lows, and I would want that retracement even lower. So what I'm kind of seeing could possibly happen is something like this, whereas from this high to this low. Yo, why is it that this is not showing? There. From this high to this low, retrace, come up to like 94.264 would be the take profit area. Then price drop down to that fib zone that I was talking about. So something like this. Yeah, that could be a possibility, but not really too crazy over it. So let's say that price goes bullish and then it comes up to like 94.264 over here, and then makes another retracement to the downside. You feel me? If something like that happens, then it's kind of like, huh, it's kind of interesting. God damn. My homie keeps like messaging me and I'm like, yo, chill. But anyways, yeah, 94.264. If price does end up going bullish right here, right now, which I kind of feel like it is, then it's going to end up coming up to 94.264. So we'll see what happens, especially like I said, especially jumping from this zone that it previously was struggling from, for that retracement to the upside before a potential sell. It looks good to me, no cap. So we'll see what goes down. Let's go on over to EU. EU basically same thing as with the DXY. I wanted initially for price to go bullish, reject here, retrace to the downside, and continue going bullish, but that didn't end up happening. Price just ended up going to the upside even more. So this is not gonna be playing out in my opinion. However, looking at the DXY, looking at EU, it's kind of the same thing as with the DXY in a way, you know. I kind of want to see it. Well, if I'm looking for continuation sells, I need to see this climb up a lot more. I need to see this genuinely climb up to like 1.16539. This almost hit 61.8, so if this continues falling, then it is what it is. But I kind of want to see retracements back up to 1.6539. You know what I'm saying? Going into the 4-hour time frame, this is what I would want to see on a higher time frame type of thing, right? Like as in like from this high to this low. That's what I was saying with the DXY as well, but it's more likely that something like this will play out. You know, from this high, not even like maybe like something from this high to this low, and price retracing or something like that. I'm not necessarily sure if 1.18390 is going to get hit, and the reason why I say that is because again, this is making lower highs and low, like just with the DXY, I was making higher highs and higher lows. This is making lower highs and lower lows. Trying to buy at these prices isn't that isn't that smart. You know what I'm saying? First of all. Second of all, price is at this weekly zone right here. And so, again, there could be this liquidity that's to the downside, which I'm having like checked out. Like, I just feel like this is going to end up falling even more. But you get what I'm saying? Like, there's a lot of signs that are showing that this is still bearish. Like, it's not even looking that good for a bullish move on the 4-hour time frame or on the daily time frame, let alone on, like, on the 1 hour. It's whatever. It just looks like it's consolidating a lot. For potential buys, I mean, sure, price is rejecting off of this 61.8, most likely will come to 1.15854 before going bullish. But again, I don't know if I would necessarily try to buy this right now. It doesn't look that great to me for any buying opportunities, and it is NFP week, so you definitely want to watch out for that as well, right? So going over to arbitrage, I had talked about this buy last week. I wanted it to come a little lower for me to get in. Didn't get in, unfortunately, but it is what it is. But yeah, 1 hour time frame on arbitrage, calling for this sell. I don't really like seeing that sell if I'm trying to look for buy opportunities. 4 hour time frame, nowhere near calling for a buy. Still calling for this sell from how long ago. Daily time frame, still very much bearish. And the weekly time frame, forget about it, still very much bearish. So that's why I'm like, in my opinion, trying to buy this at this point in time isn't the greatest idea. I'd rather sell this. But even where it's currently at, like, I don't know, if I were to sell this, it would be for a short-term type of move, like probably back to these equal lows, or if I'm planning on price making lower lows. But as of right now, like I said, I'm not comfortable trying to sell it at the bottom. I'm not trying to sell it at the bottom down here. Unless it's off of some swinging stuff, I'm not trying to sell this at the bottom. I'd rather wait for bullish opportunity for me to get in, or if price, let me get rid of this right here. Or if price were to really make a rejection to the and like fall a little lower than retest, that would be something that I would look for. But this move right here in particular that I have for price to climb up, I don't even know if I would take it, because if price did end up climbing up to like 1.17132 or 1.16810, my fear would be liquidity to the upside type of thing, you know? So I was like, it is iffy. This does look like it was a head and shoulders pattern right here. I need to lower that hard. See, it does look like a pretty solid inverse head and shoulders pattern right here. But again, it's just like, I don't know. I'm not 100% sure. It is retesting like back at this like right shoulder neckline type of thing, so it won't be such a bad idea to look for buy opportunities here. Like, this is probably the only thing that I've seen so far that would make me try to buy this right now. But again, it's like, it's kind of iffy. So that's on EU, honestly. Like I said, I mean, it's under the 50 EMA, so trying to sell it at these prices isn't necessarily terrible. But again, the price has been so bearish, and it could definitely be trying to make a retracement before trying to drop any lower. But again, it's just, it doesn't look that great to me. I feel like there'd be better opportunities in the market. But just know that if it doesn't end up going bullish, that 1.15854 area might be interesting for you to take a look at. So I'm going to mark it down. Maybe I'll take a look at it later today, but I'm not so certain. So I'm not even watching it like that, to be quite honest. It's going over to AUD USD. Same thing with these with the other USD pairs, man. Like at this point, if I'm trying to get into this buy, well, I mean, I'm already in a buy on 80 USD with the swing, but if I was trying to get like, no, not that. If I was trying to get into like like another position or something like that, then I would want to wait for the retracement back down to my swing entry, and then a continuation to the upside. That's what I'll be looking for 80 USD, quite honestly. It's been showing these signs of bullishness, so I like it. This is literally the only way that I would try to buy 80 USD at this point. Other than that, just keep taking it to the upside. You know what I'm saying? 4-hour time frame. Yeah, and it's just on a higher time frame. That's what it was, right? Fake out to the downside, break out to the upside, breaking the structure, retesting, then continuation to the upside. That's what I want to see. It's still in this fib zone. It's at the 71% for the swing, but I am aiming for 0.77791 overall because I want that to get retested before trying to take 80 USD back to the downside. So that's what I have for AU. Don't really have much to talk about it because it's just been consolidating since like basically market open. So it's basically the same setup that I had before, just a retracement to the downside, the continuation up. So yeah, that's AU. Let me go on to arbitrage real quick. If I'm going too fast, anyway, you can let me know. I'm definitely down to slow down. 80 USD 1 hour time frame. This looks better for a sell in my opportunity than Euro USD. So intraday wise, I'm definitely about to hop into this. Like I said, this looks better to me personally for a sell rather than EU, because EU is like at the bottom while AU is just like chilling right here. So if you want to have a safer stop loss, then your stop loss would be up here above these equal highs. I mean above this high right here. But if you want a smaller stop loss so that you have a better risk to reward, then I would have my stop loss above these highs right here, which then makes the trade like a 1 to 2. But other than that, yeah, that's like I said, I like to sell on AU. I'm gonna go ahead and set the exit alert. Short exit all. And then once I get the alert, I will know if I'm going to stay in the trade or get out. But like I said, there's a trade set up on AU. Let me go into the 4 hour time frame. I like how it's rejecting off of the upper danger zone, although I don't like this wick right here, but still I like how it's holding at this upper danger zone. Daily time frame is holding at this RSI line, so it would need like a really good breakout to the upside before trying to even get into a buy. So it's holding off of some resistance, so that's another reason why I like to sell. And you know, weekly time frame, we ain't even gonna look at that. So all right, so let's see what this 80 USD is gonna do for us, but I want that drop to the downside before trying to get into a buy. Okay, let's take a look at UCHF. What are you doing, UCHF? Oh wow, UCHF fell. Okay, I wanted the same thing with like all the other USD pairs, right? Breakout, it broke up to the upside. I wanted for it to like retrace down here, then come back up to these highs before thinking of selling, but price ended up just dropping even lower. So I mean, the setup that it would be at this point for me would be same type of vibe, but it will just take a little longer. But yeah, like I need price to come and make a retracement before I look to sell it. So, and another thing that I want to point out is that this can definitely go bull. I mean, this were just rejected off of, looks like a place where it can go bullish at, right? It came a little lower than the 78.6, but now it's rising a little higher. It's coming closer to that 71% fib. I'm not so certain if the DXY is going to go bullish today or this week in general, especially with NFP. I don't want to necessarily mess with the USD pairs, but if you look on the swing, if you would have tried to get in at the 78.6, then you would be in decent profits off of this sell right here. So that's why I'm kind of like with the DXY, it's kind of iffy. Don't necessarily know if I want to try to get into buy opportunities with anything that's USDXXX related. I'd rather try to get off of some sells, especially since the US dollar was so bullish. So with that being said, again, I would want to see just the retracement back to this high, but to these lower highs, and then have an opportunity to sell it here. All right, so that's what I'm kind of looking at for UCHF this. I don't think it's going to happen this morning, and if it does happen this morning, then it got up there way too fast for me, honestly. So I am watching where like this zone, like I am watching for it to make higher highs, because if it does do that, then I'm like, okay. Or even if it gets up here, like I said, if it gets up here too fast, I'm not going to get into the sell on UCHF. But that's what I'm basically looking for, right? 1 hour time frame, UCHF is trying to set up for a buy. So this short-term buy opportunity, it looks sound to me, right? It looks pretty decent. I would get into this. It hasn't called for the buy quite yet, but it is setting up, right? So I'd be down, no cap, to even just get in right now before it even calls for the buy. And if I see any funny business, then I'm like, okay, I'm out of there. Like, I'm not even gonna have like that much of a stop loss. No. Let me not say that. Level Pro is showing that it's gonna go bullish. This is like right at the ground zero, and it's right there. It's already broken out of the RSI line. It's just kind of retesting it. So yeah, I would get into this. This is conservative stop loss right here, 17 pips. But if I were y'all, I would probably have my stop loss like around like a 1 to 2 on this wouldn't be a bad idea right there. So like having a 26 pip stop loss at 0.92399 is not terrible. That's not a bad idea. Just gotta watch out for how this closes, because this could close as like a tweezer top type of thing and then end up dropping some more. 4 hour time frame, called for a sell right here. I would not have gone into that, and I need a retracement on this RSI line regardless before I keep selling. So that's that. Daily time frame still very much bullish. So yeah, I like the buys on this for sure. Let me see what the 2 hour looks like real quick. Yeah, 2 hour call that sell and it's spanked. So yeah, this, if price gonna hold where it's at, I feel like, for me personally, I feel like if price closes under 0.92575, I'll get out this trade early type of vibe, you know? I wouldn't try to stay in it. So that's what I have on UCHF. I like this buy opportunity here for arbitrage users. I like this buy opportunity for us. So I'm gonna hop in that. S&P in them. Alright, so S&P, I had mentioned that I was gonna sell these right at the market open, and that definitely now I took my profits, 50% profits at these demand zones for both UCHF, for both S&P and US30. I would suggest you do that if you got into S&P. But US30, I had taken my 50% trade. I think I actually closed it off down at the lows on US30, but I'll go and talk about that, right? So let me get rid of that sell box. I think I might actually have the pips up still. No, I do not. Alright, so from this low to this high, the retracement price came to the 78.6, came a little lower, but it was rejecting over there, and now it's going bullish. So that play is happening. I didn't get into the buy because I was okay with getting into the sell at first. If I do see price come back down and it respects and holds down at these lows, in this buy box or demand zone, whatever you want to call it here, I'll switch to buy box because I think I am kind of bullish on here. Then yeah, keep taking the US indices to the upside. Like, this is what I initially planned out, and it looks pretty decent to me. So we'll see what goes on with the S&P. Let me go on and look at the daily time frame. to see if I want to go up against the daily. This doesn't look too crazy to go up against the daily, but this looks just like, I mean, it's not twos or bottoms necessarily, but it kind of looks like a type of vibe, you know. So just gotta watch out for these indices. They are still in a swing buy area nonetheless, though. Like if I was trying to get into a swing buy on S&P, I would do that right now probably, because it just bounced off of this small time frame buy box, and then it's still over here at the 71% fib. So yeah, it's still looking bullish. It's still looking pretty bullish. And like I said, if I were to get into a swing, I think now would be the time. So that's for S&P 500. I'm going over to arbitrage, see what it looks like. 1 hour time frame, I called for this sell down here, but I would not have gone into that ever. And it looks like it's holding at this mean line and RSI line. So market open, I mean, the opening bell doesn't happen until 6:44, and that's when volatility will enter into the S&P. But again, like if I were to, like, even off of higher time frames, the 4 hour, the daily, they've been calling for the sells. So it's still very much looking like bearish and looking like it's at a bottom on these higher time frames on RV. But again, if I were to try to buy this, it would probably be at this area. But again, I mean, not even again, just think about it. Market structure, right? Low, I mean high, low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high. It never came up to these equal highs or anything like that. So lower high, it hasn't made a lower low, but you know, you guys get where I'm trying to get at here. Like, it's still very much kind of risky to try to get into a buy at this point, but it looks solid from what I have drawn up from the fibs and all that. So, but I'm gonna be patient and see what it does, honestly speaking. So right now I'm out of that. This was that break even for sure, and I closed this off. And you know, same thing with US 30, man. Like, I wanted to get in at 33796.7. Price never gave me that option, right? It said that, oh, you want to get into that? Well, that's too bad, because I'm not getting you in there. And same thing with US 30. It was at a huge fib. It was at a huge buy zone where I could have bought at, but that's okay. What I would really want to wait for at this point is for price to real life. I mean, with this huge bearish move, that's something that you gotta watch out for as well. Like, it made this huge bearish move, and then now it's just doing a retracement. It's not even climbing up fast, it's climbing up pretty slowly. So that's one thing, but that's one thing I was saying. I was like, yo, I want to see price come and hit my if I would have got this through 33796.7, I might have gone into a buy limit. But other than that, at this point, I just got to see what price is going to do, right? Lower time frame, like super, not super low, but like on the 15-minute of them, what price could definitely do is, let me hide this fib real quick. From this drop that it did yesterday, it could just be retracing up to these highs and then falling again. So that's why I'm like, at this point, it's kind of iffy. If price would have hit my alert, then yeah, I might have gone in. But again, it didn't. So yeah, but the sell was pretty decent. The sell was decent indeed. Got to see what price is gonna do this morning before I try to trade it up. Quite honestly, like if it's gonna fall, it's gonna fall in that area that I was just showing, right? And it's still very much bearish on all these time frames. Very much bearish on all these time frames. The only time frame that is not really bearish on is on the weekly time frame, and even that, it's like, it looks like this is setting up for a potential sell-off. So I'm kind of iffy on the buys. I'm kind of iffy on those buys, because especially since my price down here at 33796.7 did not get hit. So then this never made any type of breaking of structure or anything like that. So again, kind of iffy on the buys. Kind of really iffy on the buys here. Out the market though, so we'll see what goes down. All right, let's take a look at these tacos. USD Mexican. Ooh. So USD Mexican 1 hour time. Let's go into the 1 hour. Weekly time frame actually. So again, I was saying that this is just like it's in a range. Don't necessarily wouldn't want to buy it at these highs, would rather sell it. Although the weekly time frame candlesticks are showing that this might be wanting to go bullish. But since it's in a range, I said I was gonna respect said range. Price is rejected off of this 61.8 up here twice, but I would rather still wait for 20.63942 before I end up trying to sell it. So I'm not gonna try to get in and the sell right here. It's in the middle. I'd rather just wait for a price to come back up here at 20.63942 before I try to sell it down again. And again, I'm only respecting the range. Like, don't really want to try to buy it at these highs. So there's that. Pretty much already have these like written up how I wanted them to play out. So if I could get this pricing on USD Mexican, I might take that sell. No cap. Going over to arbitrage to see what we have for tacos. 4 hour time frame looks like it's setting up for pitch to sell. I know the 1 hour is already called for a sell. Oh no, it didn't. It called for the sell right here, but I would not have gone into that. Yeah, the 1 hour is very sloppy because it's consolidating. Sorry. Daily time frame very much bullish, and the weekly time frame I'm pretty sure starting to look for possibilities for a buy. But again, with USD Mexican on this weekly arbitrage, I need the retracement before no, not even that low. I just need a retracement before I look to continue buying USD Mexican on a long-term type of time frame. So I'm gonna see how this plays out for sure, but I'm more feeling the technical analysis point of view on USD Mexican rather than on arbitrage. No cap. So I like this play right here much better. And remember guys, with these USD pairs, it is NFP week. It is NFP week, so you definitely want to watch out for that. Definitely not super wise to try to like get in the market. I mean, you can, but especially on Friday or closer to NFP, there's a lot of news and NFP week. You just want to be careful overall, right? Okay, so gold, it still stands. It literally still stands because price just ended up coming up past the 78.6 fib, and then ended up dropping back down. So it literally still stands as how I had it previously, where I wanted the retracement back to 1735. However, I do know the possibility of price just going bullish from where it's at right here. I do know that from this low, especially with this high volume, from these lows to these highs, price can literally reject off of this zone and go bullish. It actually looks like a pretty decent zone for it to go bullish at. So, I mean, I wouldn't want to try to get into this. I wouldn't try to get into this and then price ending up falling and going to 1735. But I do see the possibility right here, right now, especially like I said, without price, like volume picked up and then broke above these previous highs. That's why I'm not against the buys right here at these levels. I'm not against it, but I personally would rather want to get 1735. So I'm gonna wait for that. But again, if you see the buy right here, I'm low-key giving you that cosign because it does look good there. Let me go see what arbitrage looks like right after. But again, I would rather, just me personally, rather see 1735, 1736 get hit for me to get into a buy. Going over to arbitrage. 4 hour time frame called for that buy not too long ago. But daily time frame is still bearish. 1 hour time frame called for that sell, but I mean, again, you see, like, this is another reason why I'm like, yeah, about trying to get into anything, is because of how the arbitrage looks for it. Even it doesn't look that great. It looks like it's just kind of sloppy, and it still looks like this is a, I mean, let me go over to gold real quick to show this over here. It's not the cleanest. It's not even a bear flag. It's not even a rising wedge or anything like that. But to me personally, I don't like the way how this looks for a potential buy right here. I'd rather, again, it's just wait. I'd rather wait for 1736. I feel like 1736 still definitely can't get hit, because at this, I just feel like this was just like a liquidity grab, if you will, because there was these equal highs and they were pretty obvious. And then once price got up here, then it ended up falling pretty nicely. I don't know. I wouldn't try to buy it here personally. But if you want to see it, it looks kind of valid, you know. And just remember though, gold has been like really, it has just been making lower highs and lower lows. It's just only recently broken through this structure. But again, I need that retracement nonetheless. So there's gold. Bitty Bitcoin. Alright, so Bitcoin has came up to this 49k area. My sell limit right here has been activated. I am still looking for these sells. Let me show you what my trade is. If it's here, it should be. Not there. Although that was a pretty fun sell. Oh, this is what my setup looked like. Sorry. There we go. This is what my setup looked like for the sell. I'm currently in drawdown, but I still am selling this. It was rejecting off of my 78.6 fib right here. I had actually had a sell limit at 50k, so I was like, all right, well, let's see how that plays out as well. My stop loss is above these equal highs over here, and so if price does break through this 50k, then I'm not gonna be surprised that if my stop loss gets hit, and it's okay. That's why I don't be throwing the house at my trades. I just am like, okay, set up your risk properly, make sure you know what you're risking, and take the sell, take the trade opportunity, right? Because I do want to see how this is gonna react at this sell box. If it does reject here and gives a hard push to the downside, then y'all know exactly why I'm here. So let's see what happens. Nothing's really changed for me on Bitcoin, except for, like, I know I see the daily candlesticks. The daily candlesticks aren't showing that this wants to slow down quite yet. The volume isn't there. The volume is decreasing as price is pushing to the upside. So that's something that you want to watch for. But for the bullish move, like Peyton had mentioned, I still kind of want to see this. Wherever price stops, that retracement, I'd be looking for that at this zone. And then if price does come down here and it shows like, yes, it does indeed want to keep going bullish, then I'm down to take it. I'm down to take the buys down here. And it'll even kind of look like a head and shoulders, inverted head and shoulders type of thing on the daily time frame. But again, I would have to wait for price to come down here at these lows before I try to buy it on an MT4 or anything like that. At these prices, personally, unless you're dollar cost averaging and you're dollar cost averaging a little bit, I wouldn't try to buy Bitcoin like on an exchange and hold it or anything like that, right? And again, that's just my personal opinion. If you didn't buy them when they were down here, why would you try to buy them when they're up here? It just doesn't add up to me, you know? So, or not even down here. I mean, you could have down here, but if you didn't buy them down here, then why would you try to buy them up here? That's what I meant to say. So that's for Bitcoin. Let's go on over to arbitrage. Very sloppy right here. After that bullish move, it consolidated a lot and then just went bullish again. 4 hour time frame, rejecting off of the second deviation. It could definitely come up to 52k, quite honestly. It definitely can, but I don't think it will. Not yet, at least. This daily time frame still hasn't called for the sell, but it will be shortly. But I still feel like this could fall. So I'm just seeing what Bitcoin's gonna do. This weekly time frame is not showing me the business though. this weekly time frame is trying to say that, hey, this sell that I call might not have been it. But we'll see what happens with this. I'm not gonna get out my trade. I still feel the same way. Let's see what it do. I had a sell limit at 50K as well as this 49K area. So let's see if we're gonna get these sells on these cryptos. Ripple, same thing. Like my entry, 1.06383. Hold on, let me actually go over here, right? Prices at my entry, I'm looking for the sells. My stop loss is above 1.13400, so that 1.14134. Still my break even TP1, TP2, so all that stuff. I had them set so I can see them visually. But yeah, nothing's really changed for me personally on these cryptos. Except like price has been consolidating here. So that's one thing that you can see. But other than that, nothing's really changed for me on these cryptos. And if stop loss gets hit, then that's totally fine. I'm okay with being wrong, but that's what I'm seeing in the market right now. 4-hour time frame, it looks like it wants to set up, but it's not ready yet. The 1-hour time frame, I'm more than certain it looks hideous. Yeah, we're not going into this sell, we're not going into that buy, because price is consolidating. When price consolidates on any time frame, I'm not usually a fan of trying to get into it. I do like how the RSI line is holding for Ripple right here off of this sell still. So still want to see what this is going to do. If I wasn't in the trade, I would have still gone in regardless, because I do like how it's rejecting or where it's rejecting at. It's been consolidating for the past 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days. Well, no, 4 days. So yeah, Ripple. It's kind of like Bitcoin, right? I'm looking for the sells right now, but if it does a move like this, I'm probably gonna try to sell it. I mean, I'm probably gonna try to get into the buy. Like if it comes back to like 94 cents and it holds at this area down here, I would try to buy it probably. But it just depends on what the market provides and what the market will be showing me, right? If it's consolidating like this down here, I might try to get in. But overall, I'm bearish on these cryptos, and it's kind of iffy to even try to buy or sell them right now. I would rather wait for some type of move before I try to get in. You know what I'm saying? So that's for Ripple. Ethereum. Oops, hold on. Before I go on to Ethereum, let me go on to arbitrage. Wait, I already did look at arbitrage on Ripple. So, Ethereum, same jazz, guys. I'm in close to the 78.6. My stop loss is above these highs that it previously fell from, and same jazz. It's been consolidating here for quite some time now, waiting for a breakout to either the downside or the upside on one of these cryptos. But I'm still bearish on it, especially like since it's at the supply zone. I'm like, I'm trying to sell these cryptos if they are going to be holding at these zones, right? Like this zone is crucial. I can't ignore it, and I'm not going to say that I'm going to buy it here. I wouldn't be able to buy it here. Like that just wouldn't be me. Let me go on to a different chart real quick. If I was trying to, if I would want to sell this, if I would want to buy this, then it'd have to be something like this. Like let's say that price is gonna stop right where it's at, right? I would need for price to come down to like 2,981 before I look to buy it or something like that, right? And if I see prices come to these lows and they actually do buy, then I'm with it. But until that happens, kind of ish, I'm just gonna stay in my sell, and if my stop loss gets hit above these highs, then it is what it is. I'm willing for that to happen. Okay, going over to arbitrage, daily time frame holding at this upper danger zone, but it did break above the RSI line, so that's something to watch out for. 4-hour time frame, it's just consolidating right at this point. It's setting up for a potential sell though, and the 1-hour time frame it just looks, yeah, it doesn't look the greatest. This sell, I mean, it was whatever. And this buy play, it played out pretty nicely, but I wouldn't personally get into it. So again, I'm just gonna have to wait and stay in those crypto sells. And if my stop loss gets hit, then it is what it is. All right, so GU is looking like good opportunities to short, right? Like I like the way how these other pairs look for sells rather than Euro USD. Euro USD does not look that great for sells in my personal opinion, right? So GU, let's go look at the BXY real quick, see what it's done. So after coming back down to these lows, I said I wanted to see price retrace back up to this zone before continuing to fall. And I mean, it's opened up right here, so it might still have a little bit more room to climb up. But however, again, like I said, with GU, it's like right where I would want to sell it at, quite honestly. So for me personally, again, since I like the way how this looks more than EU, and I was already like, oh, EU might be like, if I were to, I would want to sell it more than a buy, but this looks better, right? It's already rejected off of my 71% twice. I like the wick that is left on the 1 hour time frame. So yeah, I definitely like the sells on GU rather than on EU. So that's what I would probably end up trying to play off. Going over to arbitrage real quick. 1 hour time frame is setting up for a potential sell. I'm gonna definitely set this up. So short. All right, so created that 4 hour time frame. It did call for a buy, but regardless of how this is, I would need a retracement before continuing for me to continue to buy it. So that's regardless. Daily time frame and the weekly are very much both bearish. So yeah, I'm still looking for sells on this. I'm still looking for those sells, and at current price, it looks pretty damn good to me. Play is setting up nicely. Did it come up here so fast? I like the sells. GA, I mean, I'm kind of happy that price rejected off of the 78.6 at these lows and then went bullish, but I mean, it's kind of like with GU at this point, right? I think this is gonna fall, and if it is gonna fall, then I wouldn't try to sell it down here. I'd rather wait for like, oh, if price came back up to these highs and then retraced like at 1.88055 for a continuation sell, that's what I would rather get into on GA rather than try to sell it right where it's at. But if that doesn't happen, then I'm not even focusing on GA that much, so it's all jazz. So let me go over to arbitrage real quick, because there are people who want to trade GA for sure. Very bearish candle on the 1 hour time frame. So, but the 1 hour looks terrible. No cap. 4 hour, just like, 4 hour looks like it's not even about to continue going bullish. But if it does come to this RSI line and hold, hey, it might go bullish for a little bit. And daily time frame, it just rejected off of the mean line, and it looks like it just wants to keep selling. So, like I said, GA not really my jazz right now, not really my cup of tea. But GJ, oh no! When did this activate? Well, it's fortunate, but GJ, just like with GU, I'm looking for sell opportunities. They both match up pretty nicely to me, and I wouldn't be against trying to short these GV pairs. Like, they've been bearish to me, and I'm not against trying to sell them. I would rather trade G. They look the same, kind of. They look the same. It's just that GJ has failed to break through this zone. Let me go to the daily time frame. GA's failed to break this zone multiple times, but I feel like it could break it like sometime very shortly, right? So, I mean, I'm getting into this GJ sell. I'm not even gonna cap. I'm definitely gonna get into it. I wish I would have seen that alert. I don't know when it must have just alerted and I didn't see it, but I would have loved to get into that. So that's with GJ over here. It's the same setup that I talked about on Sunday. So I'm not like, there's no real reason for me to talk about it that much, right? And on the weekly time frame, this sell still looks very much valid. It called for the sell last week. So this sell right here is still under the RSI line. This is like prime time. Like this, if you try to get into that position trade, this is that prime time to sell it. You know what I'm saying? So that's for GJ. Like nothing's changed for GJ, but EG, it stalked me out. EG stalked me out of this trade, and it is what it is. It's unfortunate. I took an L right there. However, I would just, at this point, I kind of have to agree with what Peyton had mentioned. I would have to wait and see what EG does, create some bullish structure before I try to buy it. Although I do know that, hey, from this low to this high, this is still an area where price can reject off of it. It's at the 71% right here. It can reject off of here and then still go bullish. So that's one thing with EG, but I'm gonna probably follow Peyton's lead and wait for bullish structure to be made before I try to buy this, because I already took a loss off the sell. You know what I'm saying? So this is with EG. Weekly time frame, this is one thing that I've been saying, that it's just, this is exactly why EG is so fearful to buy right now, because it's on the weekly time frame, it's throwing wicks and consolidating, and it doesn't necessarily want to go bullish. So I'm just being patient with EG. But with that being said, everybody, that's it for my analysis. 1 hour time frame is setting up. I'll go ahead and call for that buy. I'll go ahead and set it up for a buy opportunity, but I would have to wait for the breakout, retest, continuation. And then once we get that, then it'll be solid for a buy. But until that, I am out, y'all. Thank you for checking out my analysis. I really do appreciate it. And let's make some money this week. Later, y'all. Watch for the